Experts are on TV seemingly around the clock offering all kinds of advice. And then Mo Rocca reminds us there are the quacks.
Not only did I create the cure,
a self-described genius entrepreneur with a coronavirus prevention pill arrested by the FBI.
Because you take this pill once a day, you cannot contract the virus.
You're saying that silver solution would be effective.
Televangelist Jim Bakker sued by the state of Missouri to stop promoting Silver Solution, a so-called cure for COVID-19.
Totally eliminate it, kills it, and deactivates it.
Yeah.
They're just two examples of what's considered modern-day medical quackery.
Quack actually originates from the word quacksalver, which is a Middle Dutch word that means somebody who boasts or brags about their salve. So it's someone on the street corner who's hawking their wares.
Dr. Lydia Kang is the co-author of a book on the long history of quackery, which she defines as the promotion of a treatment or cure without a solid scientific basis. In other words, fake medicine. And it's generally thought to have reached its heyday in this country toward the end of the 19th century. When I hear the word quack, I instantly think snake oil salesman. Why?
So way back when, it was at the end of the 1800s, there was a guy named Clark Stanley who was selling a liniment that he claimed had snake oil in it. And he was saying it was basically it could cure everything.
As for what was actually in it,
it had beef fat and pepper and turpentine, but there was no snake oil in it. And he made a ton of money off of it.
But many discredited practices were genuinely considered best practices in their time. For thousands of years, tree panning, the drilling of holes in the head, was used to release evil spirits. And long before the current opioid epidemic, opium, the highly addictive narcotic derived from the opium poppy plant, was a respectable go-to pain reliever.
They used it for everything under the sun. So, if you're having a bad day, you would take some opium. You're nervous, you take some opium. If you have some crying babies at home and you're a busy parent trying to go to the factory, you dose them up with some opium.
Heroin, a derivative of opium, was once even sold over the counter by Bayer for sore throats and respiratory ailments. At the opposite end of things, there were equally unscientific remedies.
My gosh, they use so many different things in enemas. Pretty much anything in your kitchen cupboard could go into an enema. So things like milk and honey.
Tell me about the tobacco enema.
You've probably heard of the term blowing smoke up someone's.
Yes, that's where that expression comes from.
In England, for a little while, they were actually used as a means of reviving drowning victims.
And remember mummy eating? You're glad you don't.
One of the weirdest things is that Egyptian mummies were taken from their tombs, stolen, and sold overseas because they were considered this fantastic remedy for everything.
How could you be assured that you were eating a ground-up mummy and not just some random guy?
That is true. And so people would sometimes take like dirt and soil and ashes, and they'd be like, oh, this is bona fide real mummy.
Now, lest we mock our benighted forebears too much, are there any accepted practices today that might very well be seen as quackery in 50 or 75 years?
Oh, absolutely. It's funny. When I was in medical school, there was this saying, which was, half of what we're teaching you here is wrong. We just don't know which half. 50 years from now, the things that I think are going to be really considered right now kind of barbaric are going to be things like the way that we screen for cancers. So, for example, doing a colonoscopy and having to drink that terrible prep and going to get the actual colonoscopy done.
Of course, colonoscopies work. They're essential in screening for colon cancer, an important distinction from certain products being pushed today.
And so there's lots of public concern about COVID-19, and so scammers everywhere are including that in whatever they're marketing.
Dr. Stephen Barrett runs the internet site Quackwatch.
The most dangerous is so-called Miracle Mineral Solution, MMS.
Miracle Mineral Solution is an industrial-strength bleach. That's right, bleach, that has been falsely promoted as a cure for everything from HIV to malaria And now COVID-19.
The FDA pretty much drove the sellers out of the U.S. market.
And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body.
Yet this past Thursday, President Trump wondered out loud whether injecting household disinfectant into the body might kill coronavirus.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside?
Medical experts and manufacturers were quick to point out that consuming those products can kill you. In recent weeks, accusations of quackery have been leveled against two of television's most famous doctors. Heart surgeon Dr. Mehmet Oz was criticized after hyping the use of the drug hydroxychloroquine as a treatment for COVID-19, when the benefits are far from conclusive.
Well, that's where hydroxychloroquine plays a role. We've been talking about it a lot. That's the malaria drug.
He has since reversed himself. Dr. Phil McGraw, a former clinical psychologist, incorrectly compared the disease's danger with other causes of death.
45,000 people a year die from automobile accidents, 480,000 from cigarettes, 360,000 a year from swimming pools, but we don't shut the country down for that.
He too backtracked. While the peddlers of quack medicine may have mixed motives, Dr. Lydia Kang says the patients should always be treated with compassion.
And a lot of it really just comes down to fear. People don't want to be sick. They're afraid of being sick. They don't want to get worse. And hope. They want to get better, and they'll look for whatever they can to do so.
For more, join Mo for a live chat on our Facebook page following the broadcast at 11 a.m. Eastern.